So, lads, the Indiana Fever they've not been in the greatest situation. They have not been in the greatest situation this year. And I think all of it comes down to the front office. I'm not really going to go and blame Stephanie White because she is what she is. Like, they brought in Stephanie White, it seemed, just for a bunch of things. They brought in Stephanie White to basically bring in vets and, as this Hollywood signing. And they brought her in to play an old style of basketball because that's what she does. Like, that is what she does. So I don't think we can really go out there and complain too much about Stephanie White doing what Stephanie White does. But, yeah, like, we have to look at the players they brought in, the style of play, and I think all of it, we obviously were kind of bamboozled. We obviously were completely bamboozled by the free agency signings. And we thought that we were going to be playing a fast-paced style. Clearly, the first domino was Sophie Cunningham. When she goes, I'm really excited to play with the Fever. We're playing a motion offense where everyone gets to handle the ball and we all get to create. Like, that was kind of the first thing. The first red flag that people kind of ignored. And then there was a lot of Stephanie White playing Caitlin off the ball. And I have an entire discussion. I'm like, if Caitlin Clark playing off the ball meant a whole bunch of different actions, being able to use her gravity, cutting more, and then getting the ball in positions that she can do stuff off one or two actions, then, like, it would be one thing. But I said that if it's just running the same almost quick hitters over and over and over again, like they did last year, then that's not good for Caitlin Clark playing off the ball. However, that's all they're doing. They're doing the same actions over and over again. We got bamboozled. And clearly, DeWanna Bonner, you can hear from some of the interviews that if you put the pieces together, this is what it seems like. Again, we don't know anything. But from putting the pieces together, it seems like DeWanna Bonner was basically told, we're playing your game. We're playing around you. That Caitlin's job is to fit in and play around you. Caitlin and Leah are there to get you open shots. Like, it seems like that's what they're being told. Natasha Howard's talking about wanting to win MVP. Like, I'd say she was told, look, you guys are the offense. These young players couldn't get it done or can't get it done. So for the next year, we're building around you guys. Kelsey clearly is being told to go ISO. Like, if you watch Kelsey Mitchell play in China, watch how well she played in China and watch how few dribbles she takes. If Kelsey Mitchell takes more, every dribble past one from Kelsey Mitchell probably halves her field goal percentage. Like, Kelsey Mitchell when she takes more than one dribble, she's terrible. Like, she's a terrible offensive player. She makes bad decisions, and unless there's the odd game where she's making circus shots. Natasha Howard is a circus shot taker. She is a circus shot taker. And it is what it is. Like, she plays the same way. No matter what, she played the same way for the Dallas Wings. They signed her off the back of 2 years as an empty stat player. And then they are like, you know what, talking about her like she was still the same player she was and she's a champion. But look, she is what she is. She is what she is. But yeah, it's all around just a bad situation. And I saw a post, and, like, obviously it was an opinion post. And basically, it was saying that the front office, the only thing they care about is, I don't even know who ended up writing it, but the gist of it is that the priorities of the front office are to try to use Caitlin Clark to build up the Fever to the detriment of Caitlin Clark. Like, again, we saw articles about there's more to the Fever than Caitlin Clark. And it seems like their tactic is, you know what the WNBA did last year? When it's like, we're trying to, to the detriment of Caitlin Clark, we're going to go anti-Caitlin Clark and everything. But we're going to do, by doing that, we're we just turned Caitlin Clark fans against the league, not made Caitlin Clark fans of other people. And Caitlin Clark fans became fans of the Fever naturally. We all became Fever fans naturally. And I don't think they really kind of underestimate that. All of this, there's more to the Fever than the Caitlin Clark show. And basically at the Indiana Fever, their whole thing is almost shrinking Caitlin Clark. Not intentionally shrinking Caitlin Clark, but making sure that Caitlin Clark cannot have the spotlight. That it is not Caitlin Clark's team. This is the Fever. We are more than Caitlin Clark. And the problem is, they're not. The only reason they were winning games last year was because of Caitlin Clark. Let's be honest. The only reason this team got above 500 for the first time in a decade was because of Caitlin Clark. And it's fine to admit that. That happens. That happens in sports. The Cleveland Cavaliers were incompetent before LeBron James got there for years. But what the Cleveland Cavaliers didn't do was when LeBron James was getting all this hype, you need to, anything you're doing around the Indiana Fever, any shoot you have to go on in a Fever jersey, you're bringing, or in a Cavs jersey, you're bringing Ricky Davis with you. You're bringing Carlos Boozer with you. Or did Boozer even play? I don't think he played with LeBron. I think he left before that. But you're bringing Ricky Davis with you. You're bringing Ilgauskas with you. It seems like that is what they have done. And they have taken the playbook from the WNBA. They have taken the WNBA's playbook. Like the WNBA's playbook last year was, we are going to make sure as hell Caitlin Clark. We don't think Caitlin Clark is gonna last. We don't think the Caitlin Clark hype is gonna last. So what we're gonna do is we are preparing for the Caitlin Clark hype to die down. And the Caitlin Clark hype did not die down. And the difference is that now not only the league are doing this, but her team are doing this. The front office, the backroom staff. That is their goal. That is their entire goal. Everything. Even on the court, it's about getting everyone equal. Everyone's equal. Everyone's equal. This is professional sports. I understand if you're coaching 12-year-olds and you want to run offenses where everyone's able to get similar looks, everyone's able to do similar things. I understand if you're coaching 12-year-olds. And I understand if you're coaching... Look, I mean this when I say this. I understand if you're coaching the freaking Lynx. But at the same time, the Lynx players are smart enough to know that they keep running actions until Fee gets into a position she wants to get into. That's your first choice. Your first choice is to keep running actions and then hopefully Fee gets open. Going to Fee is your first option. However, when it comes to the Indiana Fever, when they're running this offense, I'm not lying. Every single player in the Fever thinks they're the first option. That starting five, the only players on the Fever that don't think they're the first option are Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham. Aaliyah Boston thinks she's the first option. Caitlin Clark thinks she's the first option. Kelsey Mitchell thinks she's the first option. And Natasha Howard definitely thinks she's the first option. Heck, KK Timpson thinks she's the first option when she's on the floor. They all think they're the first option in this offense because it's ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And look, I understand the team plays better on defense. I understand, but I mean this when I say this. Who gives a damn about defense? If you're going to suck, at least be fun. If you're going to suck, at least be fun. But, yeah, it's a real interesting one. It's a real interesting one. Like, never forget, this is an actual article. This is an actual thing that was there. There's much more to than the Caitlin Clark show. And yeah, you know, Dewana Bonner's going to the Sports Illustrated cover. Like big articles, there's much more than Caitlin Clark. And to be honest, we've always said this. Everyone said this about the WNBA. If the WNBA hadn't gone out with a promoting others at the expense of Caitlin Clark agenda, a lot more people would have been pro WNBA last year. And a lot more people would have naturally gravitated towards liking other teams, especially their local teams. But now you've got Caitlin Clark, you've got the Fever, her own team doing it. So now not only the league are doing it, the league heck are promoting Caitlin Clark more now than they did last year. Her team are trying to make sure that her spotlight is dimmed as much as possible. And they don't realize that their fans are Caitlin fans. Their fans are Caitlin fans. You had 4,000 people in attendance before Caitlin Clark. You still have decent attendance when Caitlin doesn't play. You still have decent attendance when Caitlin doesn't play. But like, you absolutely failed her. You absolutely failed her.